Hi, today we're going to start Unit 4, and the speech part of this unit is persuasive speaking. So I'm going to walk you through the notes, and I'm going to model practicing something with persuasive speaking, and then you're going to do a homework assignment doing that. Okay, so in persuasive speaking, I want to persuade my screen to go to the next slide. Go. Yay! So, the first thing in persuasive speaking is we're going to talk about what the goal is. So the goal of a persuasive speech, and it doesn't just have to be a speech where someone's standing in front of you. We have all different kinds of persuasive speaking in our world. We have motivational speaking, we have commercials. So the goal of persuasive speaking is to influence attitudes, beliefs, values, and actions of others. So focus on motivation. So to do this, you need to always make your message personally relevant to the audience. So make sure that you are constantly connecting to your audience in order to get them to believe what you're saying, because you're trying to persuade them. Demonstrate how changes you propose will benefit the audience. So you don't just want to say people need to do this. You need to show them by them changing this that a great benefit would be the outcome. Make sure the goals you set are modest. So you're motivating your audience to do something or change something that maybe that might be out of their comfort zone. So expect minor changes in attitudes or actions. You're not looking to change an entire viewpoint per se, but maybe just help your audience see a different point of view. 4, target issues the audience feels strongly about. So play to your audience. Okay, so if you know what they have strong beliefs about, use that to your advantage. If they don't care, if you don't get a buy-in, then they're not going to listen to what you're saying, and then they're not going to change. 5, demonstrate how an attitude or behavior is currently holding them back. So maybe present them with information about something that might be a roadblock for them, that might be causing them not to see a whole picture or the other viewpoint. And then lastly, expect to be more successful when addressing an audience whose views differ slightly from yours. So this means don't expect to go into an audience that has the exact opposite of what you believe or what you're trying to persuade people to believe, because typically those people already have their convictions about that side that they believe in. So it's going to be very difficult to change an entire room of people who have very strong beliefs, maybe even as strong as the beliefs you have that you're presenting. You need to stress your credibility. Remember, credibility is letting people know that you know what you're talking about. So you need to present your information honestly. Don't create facts just to help your persuasion techniques. Establish a feeling of identification and goodwill. So this means that you want to let them know that you identify what's going on and what you want them to believe, and that you're doing it from the goodness of your heart. You're not trying to be sneaky or sly about it. Share personal knowledge or experiences. This is great. So just like our other speeches, it's really good to connect on the personal level. Be vibrant and charismatic, enthusiastic. So if you're trying to persuade somebody to buy a pair of shoes and you say, buy these shoes, they're great, you're not really persuasive. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're delivering your information in a colorful way so that they're paying attention to you. Next, you want to target your listener's needs. Maslow, a psychologist, has a hierarchy of needs. And this belief is saying that you can't achieve the next highest level, you start at the bottom of the pyramid, without making sure all the needs are met below it. So you can't build on top of something without the base layers. Okay? So he has all these different layers, and these are different ways you can reach your audience persuasively also. Physiological, food, water, rest, these are all the basic things we need to survive. Safety, any sense of security. Love and belonging, this is dealing with people want to belong and be loved, so this has to do with intimate relationships, friends. Your esteem, so feeling of accomplishment and confidence. And the self-actualization, which is a really top-notch need to meet, is achieving one's full potential. So what the idea behind this with persuasive speaking is, if you're trying to persuade someone to believe what you're presenting them with, if their needs towards the bottom of the pyramid are not met, you can expect them to have a need that's higher on the pyramid met through your persuasion. For example, if I'm creating a commercial and it's a dating site. Okay, so I want to achieve the love and belonging. I want to tap into that for my audience. If I sell this commercial to somebody and they air it, but the people watching my commercial are in a super unsafe situation, or maybe they're living in poverty and they don't have food, if those two bottom layers aren't met, they're not going to want to listen to what I have to say because they have more important things to worry about than my dating site. Okay? So you have to be aware of what you're trying to accomplish and who you're talking to and who you're trying to reach. So within persuasive speaking, we have what are called appeals. And you appeal to your audience emotionally and logically. So we'll start with emotional. So emotional appeals are attempts to motivate an audience by creating connections to their feelings. This is the easiest way to persuade somebody. Humans are naturally emotional, so tapping into this makes them want to do what you're asking them to do. So there's two different sides to emotional. There's positive emotional ones. You see babies, people get happy, or puppies, or popular music. It gets you in a good mood, or it makes you think about a happy time or something you did with your friends. There's also negative emotional appeals, like guilt. That is an emotion someone feels. Loss, insecurity. I put ASPCA commercials, the ASPA commercials here. Those are the ones where they flash the animals in shelters who are all beaten and battered, and they cue the super sad music, and I cry every time that they're on. That's a negative emotion. However, even though they tapped into my negative emotion, it makes me feel bad and then want to help the poor animals. Okay, so you don't want to hit heavy on positive and negative separately. So sometimes a combination helps a balance. So like a weight loss commercial, for example. So positive. You want to feel really good about yourself, and you want to feel good. Negative, well, you look in the mirror and you're like, ooh, like I don't look so good. I need to do this. Oh, what do people view me as? Okay, so you have to have a balance. Okay, so try to repeat or increase the positive connection. Okay, so you want more positive, and end or decrease the negative. Okay, so like you recognize the negative, but you're like, hey, look at these positives. And your emotions are going to go crazy with these positives. Okay, so logical appeals are attempts to motivate an audience with facts, statistics, and reasoning. So these are all just facts that people throw at you. So in a commercial, for example, ingredients, those are facts. That's what's part of it. A price, scientific studies, statistics, all of that are logical. And people need the logical piece to be like, this is a sound decision to make. Alright, so this was studied. I can get behind this. So this just explains it in another way. We have logos, pathos, and ethos, and it's just another way for you to look at it. So I have the logos, the logical, and it gives you all the things there, about facts, definitions. The pathos are the emotions. Again, different language, vivid descriptions. And then the ethos is a new one, but this appeals to good character. So you're just appealing to your audience thinking that they are good people. So why wouldn't they want to do something? For example, in the AskBook commercials, why wouldn't they want to help the poor animals? Okay. So now we're going to go on and watch a commercial together. And I'm going to talk about what's logical and emotional about the commercial. And then you're going to watch the other three on here and come up with your own appeals for that as an assignment, which I'll send separately.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get right. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get right. Someday we'll get it together and we'll get it all done. Someday when your life is much lighter. Someday we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday when the world is much brighter. Oh, child, things are gonna get easier.
Okay, so logical appeals there were all the brand names that popped up, the Winter Olympics, facts that we know moms take care of their kids. All of those are logical. Emotional was everything else. So all the disadvantages we're looking at. So those are slightly negative, but the positive positives were that they overcame adversity. So we saw each one achieve what they wanted to do in the end.